Hello YouTube, I've been babbling on for 25 minutes before I even started to press record, and then finished pressing record. Not very much distance between starting and stopping pressing record, but you know, I talk like that. So, let's take a little look at Dwarf Fortress, shall we? Let's see how things are progressing in the fortress. The plan this evening, because I have another fortress idea coming up in the works, is to either destroy the fortress or choose an appropriate method for destroying the fortress that can be executed by the end of next session, because we want to do a restart. I'm going to do a parallel run through, so I'm going to create a world. I've already created the world, in fact. I'm going to select and embark, get them all on the map, and then copy it and let anybody else play it with me. We've already got a few people who are going to play along, and at the end of it we're going to review them all. At the end of this one as well, we're going to be reviewing Othsalot's fort, because he actually played along with this one as well, but I didn't really sort of open it up to people yet, so we'll see what happens. There will be... No, there won't be a link in the description of this video. I'm far too lazy to go back months after the fact when I actually publish this and put a link to the sign up, because it won't be any point to it. It will already have concluded. By the time I publish this video, I will have already completely recorded all of my stuff for that next fortress, and so there'll be no chance for you to interact with it. Just look forward to it, YouTube. For God's sake, what do you want? You're watching a recording. This could be months after the fact. Come watch it live on Twitch if you want to get into the action right when it's happening. Not that there's anything wrong with watching it on YouTube. This is a really bad intro, isn't it? Let's have a look at the fortress. That's what I was going to do. So, we've got our moat here, which I feel like has some potential for fort-ending shenanigans. But it feels a little bit old hat. We were talking before we started about piercing the volcano and flooding the fortress, but it's done to death. You know, people... Although I've never had it happen accidentally, as I recall. I may be called out on that one. But, I really don't feel like it's that exciting a way to go. We also discussed looking for the candy and cracking open the circus, but historically that hasn't been the best option for me. Every time I've gone looking for candy and found it and started digging a little bit too aggressively, I've just found more and more candy, and we've never actually found any clowns and had any clowns come out. Mind you, that has usually happened when the fortress's frame rate has dropped precipitously, so maybe that's why it takes forever to get through to hell, but... Oh, sorry. The circus. Spoilers. Anyway, let's have a little... Let's unpause it as well. If we're looking for ways to end the fortress, we may well just be given a gift horse. Like an actual, literal goblin horse of Troy. Wait a fucking minute. What's this? There's goblins outside. Whoa, 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 whoa. I feel like I know I missed a session, but surely I would have remembered if we were at Siege. It's up there. Look, it's in the top left corner. Siege. Oh my god. The offset is tiny. You see the little star at the end of pause? That one. That's where my cursor is. We're so close to being at the right place. This is amazing. I feel so good. Oh, I'm getting tingles. Okay, let me just have a chat quickly. I'm sorry, YouTube viewers, you're just going to have to wonder what I said, says Clay Cree. You will have to wonder because I'm not repeating it. Hot stuff. And hello, Fuzzy Logic. Welcome back to the stream. Thanks for joining us once again. So, Goblin Siege. This changes everything. This may well be the way the fortress ends anyway. We could meet the siege with a Cryptbeards rush, but there's a good chance that that will succeed. And realistically, do we want it to... Then again, do we want to just roll over to goblins? Maybe. They're not elves, so there's not as much shame in being overrun by goblins and slaughtered. But if you're overrun and slaughtered by elves, then that's just unending shame. I mean, generations after generations of family will feel the echo of that shame even after your name and existence have long faded from the memories. It's just going to be the way it is. Babies are going to be born, and they're going to cry twice as hard as every other baby being born in that area, just because they've got that little pang of shame and regret as they're born. No, ancestor! I mean, they wouldn't say that, obviously they're babies. They'd be just going, ah, ah. But, you know, translate from baby language. Not that babies have a language. Anyway, enough of this mad inanity. Not inaneness, that's not a word. We've got a library. What do we do? Let me have a look at my military screen and see what our military's like. We've got the trust orbs, and we've got the balanced trumpets. seeing as we're going for Blaze of Glory, maybe we should just send the lads out and have a good old Barney with the elves, with the goblins. Maybe we should do that. I mean, call in the civilians, let the goblins rush in through the gate, and then send the military up to fight. It doesn't seem like the craziest notion. Let's do this. Let's do this. So we'll go to the military screen again. We'll go to alerts. We'll go to this burrow and activate it because, gosh diggity darn it, that's what I like to do. Excuse me. And then once people have sort of filtered through downstairs, we'll open up the drawbridge and we will station our military just round the corner from the traps. Or should we? Or should we? I feel like it might be interesting to make little these corridors that you build on the way into a fortress. It might be nice to have little offshoot dead-end corridors that you can station dwarves in, ready for an ambush as the goblins come past. Not give them too wide an angle of a view to spot things coming. Oh, a baby boy's been born. Amazing. Another soul to the slaughter. To the slaughter. You want to see the ballista tidy? Well, I think I can oblige there. I definitely feel like the ballista is an option. Let's unpause this because it's getting very silly sitting there on the pause screen. Let's click on the ballista and say prepare to fire facing left. That's cool. I'm going to quickly go to Store Therapist and check to see if we actually have siege operators in the fortress. That's an important thing to note. Siege operator, here we go. We're not sorting by anything, so we should see our best siege operators at the top. We've got two who are both pretty cack at it, but that's okay. We've got a lot of ammo. Kubuk Asobingingis. Okay, I am going to change the fortress around you. I'm going to change the burrow and take you out of it. So, how do I do burrows again? W. Burrow 1. C. Add citizens to this burrow. No, that's not how it's done, is it? In an alert. I'm going to make a siege military unit. There we go. M. Militia captain. Bosch. Create squad. There we go. No uniform. Hey. Why is Kogan suddenly in the bronze finders of Ol? That's not what I want. Kogan is definitely not who I want. We're going to change that to Kubuk. Where's Kubuk? Kubuk. Oh, shit. Kubuk. Let's do a search. There's no point fucking around with arrow keys. Kubuk. There he is. Is that the right one? I'll just check. Kubuk Asobingis, the whack worker. Whack worker? He's so whack. He's a wax worker. There we go. He's no longer in the civilian population, and so he should be able to come out of the burrow to operate the siege engine? Maybe. Another baby girl has come into the fortress. Not the ideal time for that to happen, but oh well, there's not much we can do about that now. Siege operators are civilians. Okay, that's no good then. In that case, let's go to the military screen again. Oh, stop having babies, for Christ's sake. Let's go to the bronze finders, and I think what we will do is disband the squad. Yeah, I'm going to disband that squad. And then, if we go back up here and press W, we can add a new burrow. Bang. Burrow 2. And then if we define this burrow, we can do it there. There you go. There's a burrow. And then back. There we go. And on burrow 2, we can add a citizen to that burrow, and it will be, what was his name again? Kubuk Asobingis. Okay. Kubuk, where are you? Kubuk. There he is, Kubuk. Okay, I thought it was Kubuk, but it's Kubuk. There we go. So back out, that's your place. Did I get rid of your... I did get rid of it. He's not a militia captain anymore, but he'll realise soon enough. And then he'll go and man, or dwarf rather, the siege engine. We'll see. We shall see. Fingers crossed, he's an effective fellow. But there's a good chance he'll just beans every shot. I'm hoping he can actually go and get ammo for it quick enough to fire it more than once. But we'll see. The weapon traps might slow people down. Okay, it looks like the last of the stragglers are going in. I'm going to set the trust orbs and the balanced trumpets to a position. Where are we? M, move. There we go. Now we're going to say to you laddies, I want you in here in the library, waiting for the moment to strike. Okay? Is that going to be okay with you guys? Are you all going to gather in the right location? Or are you going to fuck me about? Because I've got a horrible feeling you're going to fuck me about. You've done it before. We've got a wrestler on the go. A recruit. Very generic name. There's our spear dwarf wielding the artifact spear we crafted. He probably will kill a few goblins. He said orcs there. Are there even orcs in this game? Do they have orcs? I'm also unsure on if they can path to the back of the ballista even. Ah, okay. In that case, let's quickly get out of this screen, do a bit of digging, and we will do that. There we go. Will that get done? I don't think it will. Am I going to have to undo the civilian alert again? Oh, fucking hell. M, A, bang. There we go. Everybody come out and do your jobs. Yeah? You're going to come out and do your jobs? Is that how this works? Somebody's picked up the gauntlet. They're going to go and dig. It looks like they can get access from behind the thing. Or maybe that's just crazy talk and they can't really. Maybe they'll just go stand there and not be able to do it. I'm not sure. Here come the miners in their droves. There we go. People, stop walking through the miasma. There's goblin bits in there. You're going to get goo all over yourselves. Ichor. Bile. Various horrible effluvia. Oh, tidy. Oh, fuck. That's true. I can put some ammo storage behind it. That's a good idea. Just build some fortifications. Can a ballista shoot through fortifications? Huh. Okay, let's do that then. I'm going to say P. Ammo stockpile. Here we go. Next time someone attacks, we're going to be ready. We're going to be as ready as fuck. Because if anything is ever ready, it's fuck. Right, there we go. What's this? Bolts, arrows, blow darts, short bolts, wide-headed arrows. Is that the right one? Is siege ammo an entirely different category? Weapon trap components? Is that in there? Weapons trap components. Okay, I'll put fortifications in front of it then. I'll leave that there. I may as well open the gates then. If they've pissed off, then we may as well let everybody out again. Is that the gate? That's the gate. Add, pull the lever, do it now please. There we go, somebody pull it. Open us up. And let us get these poor old dwarves buried. These have all been assigned to be used for burial. Oh, blimey. We've really made it through quite a few dwarves this session. Well, this fortress at least. Look at this. So many deados. Oh, hang on, it's paused. Hopefully they'll clear some of the miasma producing tat out of those traps, because honestly it really does their heads in walking through that miasma all the time. I could probably allow the military dwarves a bit of free rein now. Oh, actually, you know what? I've got an idea. I've got a very good idea. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to say to dig through. Dig through here. Boom. There we go. Now watch what happens here. I go and I get my military squad. Here we go. A, B. And we're going to move them to here. There we go. We're going to station them there. They're all going to come out en masse. And we're going to go and fight this Cyclops down here. I figure, why not? Let's go back up to the surface, wait for them to actually dig that out. It would be very handy if you'd hurry up, little dwarvies. That would be very handy. Yes? No? No? Yes? Someone's picked up the job. It'll get done pretty quickly, I think, once they're up there. And then we can get down there and finish off that bloody Cyclops and get some revenge. Some sweet-ass revenge. Who doesn't love Rewenge, eh? I do. Just love it. It's taken a while for those lads to get up there, isn't it? And everybody's going to be absolutely stinking miserable from that bloody miasma. It looks like they're getting the dwarves outside the gate buried, which is nice. Although I worry that we're going to go down into the caverns with our military and we're going to discover that the corpses down there are going to be way too much for our burial ground. We're going to end up with mounds of corpses in mass graves. Which is always a bad thing. Well, I suppose unless, of course, you've got corpses strewn everywhere, in which case that's probably worse. In that case, you're probably going to want to sort out a mass grave. Grim, but kind of necessary, you know? Kind of necessary. But if after a plague they just leave everyone lying around, it's not much fun. Or indeed, very healthy. Now, is this going to result in the same suicidal conga line of dwarves heading down into the cavern, I wonder? Because that Cyclops really did a number on our boys. Okay, pause. So now we've paused it. We'll go down and find that freaking Cyclops. And then we're going to get our military straight down there to kick its fucking head in. Because that really was the bane of our fortress. Set the mood to be sour for the rest of the thing. Okay. Oh, that's a gold mine. That's not attached to the cave. That's fine. Where is he? Do you see him? There he is. Look. Okay. So now we kill. And then we go over here to the thingy. Boom. Kill him. Nice. So, let's then kind of wait for them to appear. If we go up a bit, we should see the dwarves flooding down relatively quickly. And when we see the first dwarf, we'll follow them down. I should pause it, really. There we go. Let's just follow them all down. Here they go. Look, they're flooding in. The expedition is on its way. They're having to travel single file through these corridors, but it's not the end of the world. Who's leading the charge? Let's take a little peek at this brave little chap. Fuzzy Logic. Look at you go. Some kind of monster. Okay, let's resume the action. Go down another floor. Watch the charge of Fuzzy. In he goes. Look at our brave dwarven boys. Marching to the front line of Cyclops combat. Quite a while before they get there, I think. But at least they're on their way. At least we'll get a little bit of hot combat action. Oh, hello, they seem to be speeding up. This is nice. Go. Come down here. Lovely. Into this one. Down here. Okay, they're going to start flooding in pretty quickly. Here it comes. Let's pause the action and zoom in a bit. Let's have a little closer look. And inspect. We'll get in with our eagle eyes, inspecting the detail of the battle. Not that that's revealed through graphics, of course. Graphics. There we go. The initial stages of combat have taken place. Let's have a little look inside and see what's going on. Fuzzy is the only one who's fought. I've had one page. He's attacked him, but he jumps away. Fine. Ouch, the Cyclops lands a punch on the right foot. Not good. Splits in gore. Shit. Perhaps your bravery was a little bit misplaced, Fuzzy. Oh no, his right upper arm's exploded into gore. Oh dear. Oh dear. The Cyclops kicks the militia commander. The Cyclops kicks the militia commander in the upper body with his right foot, bruising the muscle and bruising the right lung through the cave spider silk robe. Not good. Propelled away. Okay, so Fuzzy has not done well out of this exchange, but that's not important. Well, it is important, but it's not the end of the world. Let's keep advancing frame by frame and see what happens. Fuzzy seems to have been disabled by this attack. However, the other dwarves are beginning to move into position, and I feel that with the weapons I have provided with them with, they should be able to take on this cycloptic bastard. Now, second dwarf has entered the fray. Who is this brave soul? Ooh, it's Cadol, the hammer dwarf. He's doing well. What has he got in terms of his... he's a skilled hammer dwarf. That's good. Can we see his equipment? Where's his equipment? Let's see what he's got. I don't know how. Let's just advance time a little bit more. Ooh, has he gone purple? What does that mean? Is he in a combat trance? Let's have a quick peek. Cyclops. There we go. He's on 2 pages of attack now. Let's have a little look. It's still a lot of red. I'm not keen on this. But Militia Commander upper body with his Ongnoros Plu, bruising the muscle, jamming the left false ribs through the left lung. Fuzzy's having trouble breathing. Hammer Dwarf attacks. The Cyclops has exploded the Hammer Dwarf's right ear into gore, twisting the head, and the skull splits in gore. Shit, this Cyclops is pretty tough. Let's see how things advance. 1, 2, 3. Someone else is joining. There's a baby! There's a baby in the mix. Fuzzy's bleeding to death watching a baby attack the Cyclops. Doesn't look like it lasted long. Oh no, it's on the back of its mother. Let's advance a bit. Remember here that they're not just fighting a Cyclops. They're fighting a Cyclops on a pile of the rotting corpses of their friends and families who died here in the early days of the fortress. This is a pretty grim scenario. It's not some fancy pants Legolas fight. This is proper Gimli shit. Let's have another look at the combat reports, see what happens. Oh dear, we're still seeing a lot of shit. Having said that, the captain of the guard kicks the Cyclops in the right hand. It's not great. But it's okay. It's okay. Things are happening. Cyclops bashes the recruit in the head. Oh god. There's a lot of exploding to gore going on. I'm going to unpause it quickly, let the fight unfold for a few seconds, and bang, let's pause it again. Let's have a look at those combat reports. Come on, Cyclops. Show me some more blue. Show me some more blue. Okay, it's a little bit more multicoloured. It's not the end of the world. Okay, Cyclops bashes the captain of the guard, bruising muscles, blah blah blah. The captain of the guard looks surprised by the ferocity of the Cyclops' onslaught. It's killed a lot of dwarves. Cyclops collides, knocked over, tumbled backwards. Okay, Cyclops bashes the recruit in the right lower arm with his and the injured part is crushed. Yeesh. Misses the Cyclops. Recruit strikes at the Cyclops, but the shot is deftly parried. Oh dear. Okay. Not looking good. Lots of misses. Misses. Oh, the Spear Dwarf is missing as well. He's the one carrying the artifact weapon, which I believe is going to be pretty swell. But I don't think he's got any armour either, which is a bit of a problem. Or do they have full iron armour? I think I made them iron armour. I don't know if they're wearing it. Oh shit, should I have kitted them out with iron armour first? Oh, the Spear Dwarf is surprised by the onslaught. Bashes. Okay, his foot's exploded into gore. Yeah, he's basically smushed the Spear Dwarf. Oh, hang on, he's not the one with the legendary spear, is he? Oh, he was. Oh, shit. Okay. Alright, let's unpause it again. Let's let it play out to its natural conclusion, and we'll see what happens. I still see live dwarves. Although they don't seem to stay live for very long. I'm kind of hoping the dogs will act as chaff and allow us to... Hello, where's it gone? This looks like some interesting developments have happened. There was a little bit of running around. We've got 13 pages now. Let's scroll up. There's a couple of pages with a lot of blue, but that could just be failed attempts at attacking. Spear Dwarf found dead. Militia Commander. War Dog misses the Cyclops. He's a nimble little bastard, isn't he? Ungongo Ngugulek Turgong the Cyclops. I have improved my fighting. That was not satisfying. Oh dear, Party Pooper the Wrestler has been found dead. A War Dog has, whatever his weapon is, lodged firmly in its wound. A Dwarven baby has been knocked unconscious. Oh my goodness. A recruit strikes the Cyclops, but the shot is easily parried. War Dog misses. The War Dog's been knocked unconscious. This isn't looking good. Yikes. Ooh, the Cyclops strikes at the Swords Dwarf, but the shot is deflected by the steel short sword. The Cyclops attacks the Swords Dwarf, but he scrambles away. Okay. Okay. Cyclops kicks the War Dog in the neck with his left foot, and the injured part is smashed into the body. An unrecognisable mass. Yeesh. Okay. He's fighting the dogs. So that's good. Scroll down. War Dog, fighting War Dogs. Mark's Dwarf misses the Cyclops. Okay. Oh, they're fighting with the bloody crossbows again. They're not firing bolts. How am I going to figure this out? I get them all set up with their weapons, I get them all set up with their ammo, and they just run in and smash people with crossbows. It's not great. Oh, I for inventory, that makes sense. Well, next time we'll check them. Next fortress. No, I'm not seeing good stuff here. Oh, Besmar the baby's been found dead. That's not good. War Dog misses the Cyclops. Oh dear. It's all very War Doggy. I think all the dwarves might be dead. The War Dog bites the Cyclops in the right lower leg, tearing the fat. Scratches them in the left hand, tearing the skin and bruising the muscle. The force twists the left wrist. The Cyclops bashes the War Dog in the lower body, bruising the muscle and bruising the guts. Okay. Okay, one more page. The War Dog looks sick, no surprise. He gets the weapon lodged in his head. Not good. Oh dear. Okay, it seems like there's only War Dogs left in the fray right now. Although I do see a Mark's Dwarf. There's a Mark's Dwarf and another... Oh, these dwarves are critically wounded. Okay, so they're not dead, but they're on the way. The Cyclops is still fighting. Doubt we're going to see a lot of cool shit happening here now. It looks like the Cyclops has essentially won. We've barely scratched it. Let's click on it and find out what's going on here. Plutonium Jesus is stumbling obliviously, which is a bit of a shame. But he is a competent Swords Dwarf. Let's have a look at his wounds. Okay, he's not dead, but he's not doing well. Let's check his inventory. Has he got one of the cool weapons? He's wearing a dress. Oh, that's Urist. Plutonium Jesus. Yep. Deer leather dress. Wool robe. Silk cap. I'm not seeing any armour. Shit. And he's coated in his friend's blood. Not ideal. Not ideal, but, you know, we must make do with the situation we have. Are any of these Mark's Dwarves ever going to fire a crossbow bolt? It would be super swell if they did. It really would. Let's take a look at the combat reports now. Ah! Hello. Oh. I say. The tide appears to have turned on the old Cyclops. So, the Woodcrafter bites the Cyclops in the right foot, tearing the fat. The Woodcrafter kicks the Cyclops in the left ear with his left foot. Ah, the Woodcrafter appears to have some secret kung fu technique, tearing the cartilage. The force twists the head. Okay, he gets bashed in the left hand, but he only gets bruised. The Woodcrafter punches the Cyclops in the upper body with his left hand, bruising the muscle and bruising the left lung. The Cyclops is having trouble breathing. Good. He misses the Woodcrafter. This is good. Let's see if we see anything exciting. The Cyclops is saying, "I've been injured badly. This leaves me so shaken." The Woodcrafter punches the Cyclops in the right foot with his left hand. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, he found the dog's dead. That's fine. Cyclops looks sick. Oh, no. Okay, it's fine. Okay, he got punched in his right lower arm, but it didn't hurt. It didn't kill him. It didn't destroy the body part. War Dog bites the Cyclops in the right hand, tearing the fat and bruising the muscle. Cyclops vomits, passes out from exhaustion. Wail on that motherfucker. Everybody pile in. Oh, look at this. Oh, yeah, the War Dog shapes the Cyclops around by the right hand. The Woodcrafter punches the Cyclops in the head. The War Dog bites the Cyclops. The Woodcrafter punches the Cyclops. Why don't any of you have fucking weapons? I gave you weapons. Mind you, the ones with weapons all went in first and ended up getting a bit done in, which is no good. The War Dog shakes the Cyclops around by the head. Ooh. Ooh. Good dog. Good boy. War Dog latches on firmly. The War Dog seems to be just basically savaging the guy's head. They're all just punching on the head. Oh, the Cyclops regained consciousness but immediately passed out again. Okay, I feel like we may have a win on our hands. If we can just keep the Woodcrafter and the War Dog punching the thing in the head repeatedly and shaking it around with their teeth, I think we're going to see a little bit of sweet, sweet victory. Let's let this roll on, let it carry on, and see how things work out. Nobody's coming down to help the wounded or collect any of the bodies yet, so that's good. Although they're probably... Yeah, no, here we go. They're coming to collect the bodies. Great. Hopefully the ogre doesn't wake up. That would be a problem. Oh, it looks like one of our other lads has woken up. A combat boy has woken. Let's have a little look at him. Who's this brave little soldier? Who's this brave boy? Show me your bravery. Sigan. Okay, okay. Has he got a weapon? He has. He's got a Dodkadol in his left hand, which is obviously one of our legendary artifact weapons. Let's take a look at it, shall we? A spear. Ooh, a legendary artifact spear. It's our giant impala bone spear. Okay, fingers crossed he drives this thing into the old Cyclops' head. That would be the best. Let's have a little look. Cyclops. Wrestler bashes the Cyclops in the head with her silver warhammer and the injured part explodes into gore. It's dead. Fantastic. Killed by a wrestler with a hammer, which seems a little bit out of character, but never mind. Did we ever get the spear used? S-P-E-A-R. No. Oh no, look. The spear dwarf stabs the Cyclops in the head with his Dodkadol, tearing something. Just tearing stuff. Tearing it up. Lovely. Escape. Well, there we go. Our long-found mortal enemy is now dead, and hopefully we have enough beds in the hospital for all these poor sods who got heavily wounded to, recover. That'd be good, wouldn't it? 4 idlers. People must be flooding down here just to get all those corpses in. Let's zoom out a little bit now. We don't need to be quite so close. And let's have a little peek at the old therapist and see how our population is doing, shall we? We had 128 adults, 24 children, and 23 vulnerable babies, at least one of which is definitely dead. So let's read the dwarves and see how the situation has changed. Oh, 113 adults, 27 children, and 21 babies. So 2 babies have died. Very exciting. Let's have a look at our squads and see who remains alive. Well, the Trust Orbs still have 5 people. And the Balanced Trumpets have 3 remaining, which is cool, I suppose. They were our... what's names? Our archers, weren't they? Not anymore. Anyone with any significant skill is now very dead. Sanctum's done well. He's got himself up to a bit of an adept swordsman skill. Sigan with his spear, he's now level 5. Let's check their wounds. Oh my god, Sanctum and Sigan both totally healthy. Healthy? Kikrost here not doing so well. Not doing so well at all, in fact, although he has been treated. He's been diagnosed, wounds covered, he's got arterial damage, left hand, right foot, right lower leg and right upper arm. He's got, what's this, breaks and fractures galore, lacerations, yikes. Ooh, yeah, we're going to have a few dwarves claiming disability here, I think, because I don't think they're going to be able to do much beyond that. Although, who knows, maybe they will become adept paracombatants. Is that what it is? Paramilitary? Ooh. Okay. Paramilitary's already a thing, but hey. How many empty graves have we got? That would be nice to know. We've at least got 1 empty grave, 2 empty graves. Okay, we've got a few empty graves. We might be able to get all the deadies buried. We might be able to get all the dead people buried, but we'll have to see. There's a flood of corpses coming up right now. But it's nice to have finally cleared out that cave. Paramilitary, that would work actually. That only matters if they are actually a paramilitary organisation with severe disabilities. We're heading into dangerous territory, aren't we? We're heading very close to the dark place. We should be careful. Oh, Sergeant Indy. I've really got to catch up with your your review of those games. I haven't started watching them yet, but I will. I'll get round to it. And welcome back to the stream. Thanks for joining us again. Is Nimkadol still alive? Okay. A request for information, which I shall duly indulge. Let's have a look. Nimkadol. Let's have a peek. Dwarf therapist. If I filter, we'll be able to find out. Oh, Beardster. You've definitely survived. Look at you. Sitting pretty. A peasant with no skills, but nonetheless, still alive. What? Did you pick someone specifically unskilled, or was it a baby who leveled up? I don't know. But you've certainly been surviving. You're a survivor. You're whatever the rest of the lyrics are, etc., etc. Let's get rid of the active filter there. So there you go. You've survived. Well done. It was random. Okay, well you've done well. Lady Luck has shined on you. Shined? Shone. Lady Luck? Why would Lady Luck shine or shone on you anyway? She's not some kind of luminescent creature, is she? Is she even an anthropomorphic thing? Do we just call her a lady? Is that a bit presumptive? Is that a bit... Well, actually, I am the concept of luck personified, and I am not a lady. I'm a man, or something else. Whatever. Who cares? It's all cool. Being useless has its uses. That's true. That's true. It does keep you out of the fray a bit. I mean, look at C-3PO and R2-D2. Not strictly speaking useless, but relative to the power sets of other characters, they're perhaps a little less powerful. Just a shade. They're supposed to be modelled after the two peasant characters from an Akira Kurosawa film called The Hidden Fortress, I think. Akira Kurosawa, sorry. But yeah, they're supposed to not represent, but be the equivalent of those two characters. Hello, look at our little siege operator here. Sitting on his siege engine like there's no tomorrow. Because I've kind of restricted him to it, and he can't leave. But hey, that's fine. If he starves to death at his post, at least we will know he executed his duty with good faith. Can you only practice being a siege operator during sieges, or when you're fighting, or is there actually some way of upping his skill without loosing all the bolts? Question mark? Question mark? Have we still got graves left, or have we filled them all up? Nope, these are still good. These are still good. It looks like the corpses are being dealt with relatively rapidly. This is certainly going to sort the ghost situation out. Oh, look at the little trail of vomit leading down to the corpse cavern. One can only guess at which direction it was formed. I mean, maybe they're all like, sunshine, bleh, 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 on the way down. Or maybe they're all like, oh, I'm carrying my dead brother. Bleh. I don't know. I don't know. Regardless, it looks like that room's going to be empty soon. A lot of the corpses knocking around. What I should do is D, B, C, and then we'll just area reclaim all this shit and make sure nothing's forbidden. I know there's an easier way to unforbid the corpses. There's a menu you can go to and just sort of blanket unforbid shit, but hey, I forgot where that was. So we're going to do it the old-fashioned, painfully slow way. Ah, yes, painfully slow. And back to the surface we go. You unfortunately have to fire the siege to train it. Make lots of siege bolts, turn it at a wall, and have him free fire, I guess. Will he free fire without a target? I wonder. I wonder. Let's have a look at the siege room and see if we can just dedicate lots of resources to knocking out some siege engine bolts. Well, we already have a few, although they're not being stored in what I would describe as the optimum location. Wait a minute. This is where our siege operation was. Oh, some wankers had a mood and smashed the siege engine at workshop. Ugh. Okay, we've got to rebuild that bad boy. Let's do it now. BW Siege Workshop S. There we go. There we go. Let's chuck that in there, and we'll make it out of diorite blocks. Fantastic, and then we can get these bastards ordered. Does anybody know what stockpile they go in? Because I would very much like to know. I would very, 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 very much like to know. If only we could get sieged again. If only we could prompt one. Trigger one to start. Then we could practice our ballista shots. I'm surprised we didn't lose all the military. How's the hospital looking? Okay, pretty busy. Pretty busy. But we have doctors and soap and all of the requirements for a hospital. Let's just make sure that is the case, shall we? Let's have a look here. Hospital information. Oh, H, not N. There we go. Yeah. Oh, no, we don't have powder for casts or soap. Enough soap. Oh dear. Okay. Well, hopefully traders will come along and we'll be able to get ourselves some powder. We can always make more soap, though. I definitely have the stuff for soap. Did I put an order on for it? Yeah, make lye, make soap from tallow. Yeah, that's all cool. Although there's not much going on in the butchery screen. I tell you what we can do. Let's go to the animal screen. Seeing as we're ending it all, we can just do a mass slaughter, can't we? Let's go to... Can I filter these? Can't easily, can I? Never mind, never mind. Let's go to here. So, turkeys. Do we want to slay them? We'll keep the turkeys for now. We'll kill everything else. So, this cat, ready for slaughter. Bang, duck, goose, turkey hen, stray goose, turkey hen, blue peahen, gander. These are all pets. I can't kill them. There we go. Dogs, cats, turkeys, sows, kittens. Lovely. Here we go. Hey, kill the puppies. Cruella de Vil, Cruella de Vil. If she doesn't scare you, no evil thing will. Cruella, Cruella. Let's not kill these war dogs. Not right now. We can kill them another day. Everything else has been assigned to a person. So let's get out of here and watch the slaughter unfold. We'll have plenty of fat for making soap once we've killed a few things. There's an ammunition category under furniture. Ah, and Tidy called it. I think Tidy got it right. So let's go to the surface, go to this here and say, change settings, disable ammo, disable, then go to furniture and enable, and then if we block all, and we find ballista arrowheads, siege ammo, there we go, that's what we want, bingo. And the siege ammo can all go up there, and fingers crossed we will be able to find, oh yeah, look, there it is in the furniture stockpile there, sticking into a wall. Did the siege engineer's workshop get built? Nope, it needs someone with the skill, but I'm pretty sure they'll be along sooner or later. Sooner or later? Dab indeed, Tidy. Dab indeed. I had to stop my children from dabbing at the dinner table earlier because they were about to fling food all over the place. It worked though, it was good. Is there a specific way you're supposed to do it? I am not fully conversant with the dab. I'm not dab compliant, so to speak. I have dab upgrades that are required. Ah, no one's coming down to make this, are they? They're all too busy gathering up the bones of their fallen friends. Which I suppose you can understand, can't you? You can feel for them a little bit. Just a little bit, just a smidge. Just a smidge. They're not elves, for God's sake. You've got to have some empathy for them, some compassion. Let's face it. Dwarves are definitely not elves, if they're anything. Oh, there's a dwarven child throwing a tantrum. Well, that's not great, is it? That's not great at all. Ooh, look at the happiness levels. We've got 4 who are incredibly unhappy, 12 who are pretty unhappy, 35 who are not happy, 104 who are okay-ish, and then 411 on the happiness scale going upwards. That's not good. Oh my goodness. They've made 50 lie. A peasant slipped into depression. Okay. Great. Not sure what I'm going to do about that. Let's take a peek at these traps. Copper shield, body parts. I feel like they should be tidying these up quicker, right? Little bits of body part all over the place, goblin blood. I mean, sure, the bodies of our people are more important than the bodies of goblins. But the bodies of our people have been in that cave for a while, and they're not gumming up the mechanisms of our vital defences, you know? Certain concessions have to be made in the realm of human dignity, especially for the dead. You know, you can't just worship the dead. That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. Well, maybe not. Maybe dwarves do that. Maybe it's that. Maybe I'm being highly offensive. Maybe there's going to be someone from Japan watching who's like, that is absolutely fucking outrageous. I have some element of ancestor worship in my religion, and I am thoroughly offended. Although, I'm willing to bet nobody Japanese is currently watching, or will probably ever watch. Maybe, but it seems unlikely. There's no subs, and there's quite the language barrier. Unless somebody has been secretly subtitling this stream and my YouTube videos into Japanese, in which case, thank you very much. Sure, how's that going for you? Is it working out? Are the things I say difficult to translate into Japanese? Hypothetical person? Question mark? Maybe. Ballistas make great couches. Oh, okay. I can imagine if the string was like the spit you sit on. What is it called, a string? I presume it's a rope on a ballista. If that's the bit you sit on and you lean back on the curved bow bit, I think that would work, right? That's the way I would use a ballista as a couch. Or are you imagining some more effective use of the ballista, like sitting on it long ways where the bolt would go? Intriguing. Right, still got gummed up traps. Have we still got corpses in the caves? Cave corpses. Doodle-doodle-doo. There's a cave, and it's filled with corpses. Come on. It looks like most of them are gone, to be fair. There's one there. There's a couple here, but they're on the move, which means someone's picked them up, which is nice. Yeah, it looks like we may have finally, before the fortress end, dealt with the corpse situation. Isn't that lovely? Oh, no, we haven't. It's not lovely. It's disgusting. There's just a pit of all my friends' bones. Probably some sort of decayed ichor on the floor as well. I mean, how long does it take? I mean, where does all the moisture in a corpse go in a cave? Does it just sort of sit there in a puddle and never evaporate? Would like a big old cave full of corpses just end up turning into a pool of goo? Or I imagine something would be in there and eat it, right? Even caves have their own ecosystems. You'd probably be gobbled up by little insects pretty rapidly. Fix the siege ammo pile. Okay, I thought I'd done that, but maybe I missed something. Change the settings. Furniture siege ammo. Siege ammo. Do I allow metal? Yeah, allow. Oh, for fuck's sake. Block all. Okay. Permit metal. Permit material. Permit. And then in here, we just want siege ammo. Is that right? Is that going to work? Is that good? Let's go down to the hospital again, check to see if the soap situation has been remedied. I, please. Capital H. No, the soap situation is going worse. And powder situation is completely gone. Okay. People are in the hospital at least. We've got some soap. Hopefully no one's got a broken bone requiring a cast. Oh, not another baby. Please, this fortress needs anything but babies. Babies are practically rabies. Although they share very few characteristics. Yeah, corpses in situations like that end up sort of gooifying or getting preserved. Very exciting. Air can shift a lot of humidity. Yeah, I imagine so. But if there's no airflow, then that's not so much of a thing, right? Imagine like a cave that is then sealed somehow, rather than an open cave to the air. Because I imagine nothing's going to like last long in there other than the stone itself. But sorry, for a moment there I've just gone off into a little reverie about the cave paintings at Lascaux, and for some reason it caught me. I've gone completely off the rails. Let's have a look at the fortress again. Oh, somebody's smashed up one of our stills, by the look of things. This is a masterworks bin. Oh, someone's smashing shit up. It's this annoying little baby, look, with the brown exclamation mark. He's having a right tantrum. He's going batshit, smashing things up all over the place. This is not ideal. I feel like we're on the very verge of a tantrum spiral. On the cusp of bad times. Some pause the action and let things develop. Hello, what's going on with the frame rate? Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. That's more like it. That's the frame rate we all remember. The frame rate we deserve. 32 frames per second. The music stopped, hasn't it? At least it's not as bodies exposed to the sun, which would explode. Ooh, very exciting. I presume that's the build-up of gases, right? Then again, would a body not in the sun not explode? I know whales explode because they've got all that body designed to hold pressure, and then they sort of fill up with gases and then eventually bang! Oh, I think I've recommended it before, but if you haven't seen what's his name? Something Mollinson. He's a permaculture founder. Bill Mollinson. If you haven't seen him telling his story about trying to rescue a little dog from a whale, then I advise you to go seek it. It's a little treat for you. A little treat. Something to warm the cockles of your heart and raise the spirits. The bacteria in our guts are enough. Oh, that's all right, Clay Cree. Don't worry about being bossy. We allow backseat gaming in this channel. It's all cool. It's all cool. How about that Death Stranding, eh? I've been looking at that with bated breath for a long time. They just announced pre-orders on Steam today. I mean, I'm not going to pre-order it. What do you think I am? Some kind of git? But I'm definitely considering getting it when it comes out. Then again, who knows? Maybe I'll have gone cold on it by the time it comes out because I have already been fully spoiled on it. So, but I feel like it looks like fun to me. It looks interesting. Not everyone's cup of tea, but it does have a certain charm. Calls to me. Can ballistas cause friendly fire? Yeah, I think it looks pretty interesting, Fuzzy. I'm looking forward to it a lot. Friendly fire doesn't sound like the best thing ever. Doesn't sound very friendly either. That's for certain. I mean, maybe we could make more ballistas. Then again, we were looking towards the eventual glorious demise of this fortress, aren't we? We're not looking for... Holy shit, look at those red arrows. Oh, ain't nobody happy in this fortress. Look at this. Yeah, down the bottom, look. We're in a proper tantrum spiral now. We've got some moody dwarves. Excuse my hiccups. Just hold my breath for a second. I think that's going to deal with the hiccups. Let's have a little look here. Sergeant Indy says, oh, hang on, there's more. Let's go up a bit. I do not get Kojima, never have. He's not my cup of tea. I understand that. I mean, on the one hand, everything he does is silly and daft and convoluted and unnecessary and, dare I say, maybe even pretentious. But it kind of all comes together like watching an old Roger Corman film, or, but if Roger Corman had a ludicrous special effects budget rather than what he actually had to make movies, it's something about the jumbled hodgepodge of bits and pieces kind of works. And if there's one thing I really have learned I've enjoyed from the run-up period to Death Stranding being released, it's wacky theories. I just love finding a crazy, wacky conspiracy theory that I can just follow all the way down to the bottom of the rabbit hole and not come across some red-faced, angry person screaming about Jews. You know, I don't want that. I want a conspiracy that's all about, you know, something interesting, exciting, fucking aliens. Aliens are cool. Oh, actually, I was about to say Jews aren't cool, but that's not a cool thing to say. No, what I mean is aliens are cool to having conspiracies, and conspiracies about, you know, people, you know, human beings that actually exist. No, that's not cool. I mean, if it's a small group of people who are actually doing something wrong, then I suppose it is quite cool to expose a conspiracy. But the chances of an entire, you know, genre of people, that's not right, is it? It's not a genre, but, you know, an entire group of people are all bad and conspiring against you is just bonkers. Utterly bonkers. Anyway, where were we? Let's just walk away from this dangerous territory. Let's look around and find something else in chat to talk about. There are people who are brilliant, but these people rely on other folks around them to tell them no. That's true. I don't think Kojima hears no often enough. Or maybe he hears it more than we think. Maybe he does. And, you know, if he had an unlimited amount of money and a good amount of time, he'd produce something that would truly blow our little socks off. But we'll see. We'll see. Why the prequels went downhill. That's true. I'm assuming you mean the Star Wars prequels. They, yeah, I don't think anyone told old Georgie to say no. Oh, well, they might. No, you know what I mean. They didn't say no to George Lucas. Not they didn't tell him to say no. Georgie. We all float down here. I hated the idea of Death Stranding, says Droids Mead, but let's be honest, it's a breath of fresh air in today's AAA bullshit market. That's another good thing. And to be honest, another thing that buoys me on about it is I was very late to the game on Metal Gear 5. I turned my nose up at it, I looked at it all snooty and went, I'm not interested in that. No, it doesn't look like the kind of thing I want to play. And then when I got it on sale, it was shit hot stuff. Really good. And I kind of wish that that game had been completed like properly before we got, you know, that falling out with old Konami. But whatever. You can't have everything. You can't always get what you want, as the old Rolling Stones once said. Yeah, for the first trilogy, says Sergeant Indy, there were people around to tell him no, notably his wife, who was also the editor that saved A New Hope, and, I believe, divorced him immediately after the film came out, if I'm not mistaken. My thing about Metal Gear Solid 5 is that it's very much a streamer game. I definitely think it was very fun to stream. It was enjoyable to stream. But I'm not sure how productive in terms of the stream it was. I mean, I know I'm very lax about actually trying to do anything properly in terms of growing my viewership, but mind you, I was very late to the game, so when it came out, it might have been a lot more effective in getting people in. But to be honest, for my channel, it was a little bit of a passion project. I played it because I wanted to play it, not because I thought people were going to watch. Which is, to a degree, what happens with Dwarf Fortress. I mean, I enjoy playing Dwarf Fortress, I really do, but I play a lot more of it than I would if people weren't so keen to watch, if you see what I mean. I do focus on it more than I definitely would otherwise. Let's have a look. It's a big screw around and a sandbox that you can sort of wander around in and interact with the viewers and do whatever, but I think I would find it intensely boring to play on my own. Well, there's not really any multiplayer on Metal Gear Solid 5, is there? Or did I completely miss a multiplayer element? I had no idea. The big issue I had with Metal Gear Solid 5, says Science, is that everything up to Africa is really fun, and then Africa is so fucking boring. I didn't think Africa was boring, necessarily, but I don't think it really added enough to be, you know, other than visually distinct from Afghanistan. I felt like it was very much more of the same with a different skin thrown on. So there was that. But I felt the core solid gameplay, which I think, not the combat, but the actual control system seems to have been, and the menu system seems to have been largely recreated and repeated, and the look of it to a degree, in Death Stranding. I could be wrong. I may be wrong. Obviously, I haven't played it yet. I would love to give it a crack. I'd love to play it, but the only person I know who's got a PlayStation 4 who might buy it lives on the other side of London and is quite difficult to get to, so I'm unlikely to be seeing it anytime soon. But we'll see. We shall see. There's Metal Gear Solid Zero, but it was basically dead on arrival. Metal Gear Solid. Do you not mean survive? Do you? No no multiplayer that I know of, says Sergeant Indy. But you didn't play it alone. You played it with. That's true. That is a good point. Those kind of games that give you a smorgasbord of options are. I see how you mean they're good for streaming. They are, because you can just say, "Oh, what should we do here?" and give a little bit of audience interaction. But I'm not sure I had the footfall, the pass through traffic to really capitalise on that. Look at them going. They're having a right old Barney in the fortress, aren't they? Have they got rid of all the corpses yet? Should we just sit here watching them until they clear those traps out and kind of hope for another siege and see what happens? I feel like they must have got rid of these corpses by now, right? I mean, there were a lot down there, but not that fucking many. Just keep going. Keep going. Empty rooms, no corpses. Holy shit, there's so much stuff down here. Are there still corpses, or is it just equipment and clothes? I think it's just clothes. Okay, they appear to have dealt with the corpse situation, which is good. What's this? Is that the Cyclops? Spatterings of blood. Vomit, spatterings of blood. Delightful. Very delightful. And there's the corpse of the Cyclops right there. Very exciting. Okay, let's back out. Let's let things unfold. Go back up to the surface and watch people. Yeah, I see what you mean now, yeah. Oh, Metal Gear Solid, Sergeant India, I see what you mean. Metal Gear Solid Online. Oh, yeah, I never really played that. Wasn't that part of Metal Gear Solid 4? Or am I really misunderstanding what you mean by Metal Gear Solid Online? It wasn't launched as a separate thing, was it, for 5? Even if you're not doing audience interaction, it's just a big screw-around sandbox, so you've got the time to chat and sort of while the day away. One of the big problems with Metal Gear Solid 5 that I didn't realise was a thing until I saw someone point it out on a YouTube video. I can't remember who it was, but they pointed out that they give you this vast array of options and tools and toys, but then there is one clearly superior technique, which was the stun enemies and faulten them out and, go around one by one taking people out quietly technique, which, plays to the style of Metal Gear and is kind of what the game is about. But then they sort of dole out all these other weapons that you can use, and they're there and you could use them, but they don't really have any value to you, so you never use them, which is a bit of a shame. I feel like there could have been something done there to kind of make those things a little bit more interesting to use, Then again, maybe that's like already Kojima was developing this idea of non-combativeness in Metal Gear. So, I mean, it's always been a thing. It's like the anti-war thing has always been an element in there. But I don't know. Maybe we should turn away from the Kojima talk, because it's very divisive. It's not as divisive as politics by a long shot. The Discord got a little bit spicy a couple of days ago, maybe even yesterday, but thankfully it all died down and everyone calmed down again. Shh, don't mention the Brexit, it's terrible. Yeah, I can understand why you would find that boring, Sergeant Indy. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but for me, it's certainly scratched an itch. I can definitely see in Metal Gear Solid 5 so many ways it could be improved, or things that could have been changed, just tweaked a little bit. But it's still a great game. I mean, obviously not to your tastes, but still a great game in my estimation. You could probably get a little clothes stockpile down there to make things easier. Look at you. That's big brain talk right there. Big brain talk. I know who I'm standing behind when the Return of the Living Dead zombies come. You and your Titanic noggin. Stockpile. Okay, so clothing stockpile. Or maybe you don't have a Titanic noggin. Maybe you just have a very dense brain. Maybe your brain is being under pressure inside your head. So let's hope you don't lose any eyes or get any kind of... I don't know why, but I'm imagining somebody with like streamers of brain matter shooting out of their eye sockets, and it's not very gory the way I'm imagining it. It's almost comic, something like The Mask, perhaps. Anyway, where were we? Clothing stockpile. Clothing. What's the word? What's the letter for clothing? Horses, gems, cloth, ammo, finished goods? Are they in finished goods? I think they are, aren't they? G. Finished goods. That, make a little stockpile there. And then once we've done that, we come out and we click till we get the stockpile. We look into the finished goods. We say type arse allow all. There we go. And then we say forbid. Lovely. And then presumably we come up here and we find, oh, they're all different categories. Fantastic. Just what I wanted. Handwear, headwear, footwear. No, not armour. Sure. What else can we get in there before I start making a fool of myself with silly voices? Is there bodywear? Because I see footwear, headwear, handwear. Surely if there's jackets, they're not going to go on your feet, your hands, or your head. Doesn't make any sense. Crowns, earrings, bracelets, large gems, totems. Oh, legwear. Well, that's what I was looking for, but I nearly misread that as cod pieces. I wanted to misread it as cod pieces, but of course it is codices and forever will be. Backpacks, quivers. Oh, seems like that's it. No one has bodywear. Everybody in this fortress is dressed like fucking Frankenfurter, apparently. Okay, that's that. Hopefully they'll gather it all up into that stockpile and won't spend hours buggering around trying to bring it to the surface, which has been and would continue to be a pain in the poo pipe. Back to the surface we go. We've only got 7 idlers. Everyone's pretty busy, although I think many of them may be busy having a mental breakdown. I'm seeing a lot of red arrows, and I'm guessing that we're going to end up with some pretty bad fortress smashing madness going on. They're getting rid of those cats. That's good. Slashing that book. Ooh. Yuck. The peak of the series was the Metal Gear Solid boss that tried to convince you that your console had crashed and you needed to switch it off. Was that Metal Gear Solid 1? Psycho Mantis? Is that one? I really wish I'd played 3, because everyone hails it as the best in the series, and it's the one. Actually, it's not the one. I've not played 2 either. For some reason, I played Metal Gear Solid and then jumped straight to Metal Gear Solid 4. I think I gave Metal Gear Solid 2 a little go, but because it wasn't Solid Snake, I was like, meh. And I hadn't paid for it. I just borrowed it off a friend, so I never really completed it. But 3 is supposed to be an absolute barnstormer. Brains are all about surface area and folds. Oh my. So putting them under pressure is not ideal. Unless, of course, maybe you can bring in some extra dimensional folding. That might be possible, right? I mean, there's nothing that stops it mathematically. Maybe it's a little fantastical, but, you know, maybe you could have an extra dimensional fold down your brain. Good, wouldn't it? See round dimensional corners. This doesn't make any sense. I'm just babbling now. Where if you... hang on. Also the actual armour, where if you switched controller to port 2, you were immune to mind control. That was it. That was Psycho Mantis, yeah. You had to actually swap over to get yourself an easy ride on the mission. Snake Eater wasn't too bad. Of course, we were in Iraq at the time, so our bar for entertainment was pretty low. Well, I suppose, that's something I've wondered. I mean, you see like lots of service people doing like Call of Duty and stuff, but is media depictions of war popular when you're out there, when you're out serving and stuff, or is that kind of stuff sort of like not really of interest? Is it kind of like, fuck, that's what I do every day? Well, not what you do every, you know what I mean? The video games are not like the real thing, but you know, is it too close to home? Kind of, do I really give a shit, or is it sort of super hot popular? No, not really. Okay, so because that's what I thought. Played a lot of more Gears of War than Modern Warfare. Okay. Then again, personally for me, Gears of War is a little bit better than Modern Warfare. I played COD 4, I enjoyed it. I played Modern Warfare, and I enjoyed that a little bit less. And then I played Modern Warfare 2 and went, I'm out, not playing any more of these. And I haven't played a Call of Duty since. I found I've always been a little bit more fond of the Battlefield games in terms of first-person shooters, but the peak would have been Battlefield Bad Company. We've definitely had this conversation before. Definitely discussed this. I think with you as well at the same time. I'm having strong waves of deja vu at the moment. A lot of Gears 2 Horde mode. I personally think Horde mode is the best thing about Gears of War. Although I downloaded Gears 5. Is that the new one? When I had that trial for Xbox Live Arcade Online, the PC version. I downloaded Gears of War 5 and it looks gorgeous, but I just didn't really get into it. I mean, the one time I tried a Horde mode game, it was at the voice comms we had was a bit janky, but maybe we'll see how it works out. Horde mode, yeah, well, it's the best. Actually, why I stopped playing around Gears 3. Did they not have Horde mode in? Or did it just stop being... Ooh, what's going on here? Peasants gone berserk. Of course they have. Of course they have. And what are we going to do? Can we attack this peasant? Where are they? Where is our berserking peasants? My love for you is like a truck. Berserker. Would you like some making fuck? Berserker. My love for you is ticking clock. Berserker. Would you like to suck my cock? Berserker. There we go, a little bit of film quoting for you there. A little bit of viewer skew-universe nonsense. Is Zevim the peasant the one who's going nuts? Let's follow them. Let's see what happens. Go on. Go bonkers in the cave room. Oh, they appear to have stopped. Somebody might have put them down. Let's check the combat logs. The peasant is fighting. Ooh, he's been bitten in the head by a war dog, tearing apart the muscle, and he's getting shaken around by a war dog. It looks like his berserkery may well be coming to an end pretty quickly. Oh, they bled to death. Well, that put an end to that madness. Whew, we've only got 86 people who are not less than neutral in their emotional state. So, fingers crossed, either we end up with a massive tantrum spiral with everybody going berserk, and we can tell tales of the fortress that went mad, or we get a siege come along and it allows us to end on a little bit of a glorious combat note. That'll be nice, won't it? And we'll get to see that ballista fire too. Ah, ballista. One day I will get to see your twanging glory. Twanging glory sounds like some kind of euphemism. Don't mind me, I won't be out tonight. I'm staying home and twanging glory. Oh yeah, I was going to put some fortifications in, wasn't I? Build capital C, fortification, capital F. There we go. And then if we make it 3 wide, we can bonk it right there. And make it out of diorite blocks. Lovely. Good stuff. Let's have another look at chat, shall we? Hello, Ali Fox LP. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. Rock Band 2. We played a lot of Rock Band 2, my second tour. I'd leave it hooked up to our crappy satellite internet for a 16-hour mission and then sleep after so I could download like 2 new songs. Man, how is the internet? Is it adequate for multiplayer out there, or is it all LAN? Because I feel like there's probably is pretty good internet out there, but I doubt the people who are using their Xboxes are the ones who are getting that internet, right? I mean, there's probably a pretty good internet connection between, command posts and stuff, sending information. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm vastly over-egging the pudding. Now it's all cyborgs and remote-controlled robots. You've become obsolete, much in the way of Terminator. Not quite. It's getting there though, isn't it? You can get those old Boston Dynamics robots trotting around. In 2008, it was all really garbage satellite internet from like Russian provider. Oh yeah, because there was all that controversy during the Iraq War about like the companies just rinsing the American government for money for like fuck all of use. Charging like hundreds of dollars for a TV dinner kind of thing. Oh man, that kind of shit really winds me up. I've worked at so many companies where there's people just, doing things that are just totally stupid because it makes, it does them a benefit rather than, gets the job done that we're all there for. Oh, God, it makes my blood boil. I can't bear it. Ugh. If you're underperforming for profit, then boo. Boo! I would get ads for hot singles in satellite provider want to meet you. Oh, very nice satellite provider. Well, that's everywhere. When it's war for profit anyway, why not take whatever you can get? I don't know. I don't. That's. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Because it's not like the people conducting the war are profiting. Quite the opposite, in fact. Or the people who are sort of ordering the war. I mean, maybe they are profiting. I imagine old Mr. Cheney made a little bit of money out of his antics. Mind you, did he really need it? It was probably already fucking minted before he did it. What a cunt. What an absolute prick. Up there with old, what's his face? The old cabinet that sent us to war in the UK. They can all suck my fucking dong. Well, I mean, no, actually, they can't. They can come to me begging on their bended knees saying, oh, please, can I suck your willy? And I'll be like, no, you don't deserve my glorious penis. Get away before I do something I regret. Brrr. That's what I'd be like. What's going on? And why am I having this weird power fantasy of declining a blowjob from Tony Blair? That's an unusual thing to think about at any time of day, let alone at 1:04 in the morning. I think you underestimate the military-industrial complex. No. I am aware of that kind of thing, and I understand the depth and integration of the whole system into the way of the world. But I just wish it was better. A lot of these companies making a crap ton off Iraq and Afghanistan are American companies owned by lobbyists, politicians, or exactly. I think we're all on the same page. I don't think anybody's sitting here going, "Oh man, that's all cool." I mean, there are people out there doing that, but it takes all sorts, doesn't it? What am I doing? Well, I tried so strenuously for so many years to just avoid politics in any form or shape on the stream, and the last couple of days it's all just gone to pot. It's all just gone to madness. Excuse me. A lot of these companies... our chow hall got suicide bombed in Mosul, and after that Halliburton served nothing but steak and lobster for 6 months. Steak and lobster? Well, I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, at least on one level, you guys kind of benefited from that in a way, because lobster's nice. But still, it must have been frustrating to go, oh, I'm paying tax, and this is where it goes. No! Very frustrating. Druids Mead says, I wish 10% of world GDP went to space, 20% to working out live forever pills, that sort of things. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I mean, let's face it. There are an infinite number of ways to divvy up the income from any given nation, but they all have their ups and downs. I mean, yes, I would love to see lots and lots of investment in space, but equally, I'm kind of torn because, there's always more money can go into the health system. There's always more money than go into education, and both of those will do a lot of good. And then also, there's environmental issues that we could be focusing on, that kind of stuff, like switching to more renewable energy, that kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, not that I'm saying I don't want space stuff to happen, but I feel like we kind of hit an inflection point where the space stuff is going to happen now. Unless we have a civilization-ending cataclysm, I think the billionaires have got space sort of sorted now. We're on the way. We're climbing the ladder, so to speak. I mean, not literally a ladder, that would be madness. Although I wouldn't put it beyond some of these crazy b-boys to be setting up space ladders. I mean, I've heard of space elevators, but a space ladder's just a bit easier, isn't it? Because you don't have to actually power it, just people have to climb it. It's all good. What am I fucking talking about? Hell, I'm convinced if I want to eat a bug, I'll go out in my backyard and do it for free. You don't like lobster? I'm convinced no one likes lobster. Not really. It's just a delivery vehicle for butter and salt. Oh, I actually don't mind lobster and crab and stuff like that. I'm quite a fan. Even weirdly, I like a lot of seafood that I normally would be disgusted by. Things like whelks and winkles and mussels. I can't stand slugs and snails, creatures without bones and stuff like that. They make me feel sick and frightened. But when you get a pot of whelks and stuff with all the vinegar and oh, they taste so good. Yet I wouldn't even contemplate eating snails, which is weird. But then again, I don't have any worry about. I don't find the idea of eating insects problematic either. I feel like, if you can make it taste good, then cool. Like, I'll eat insects, no problem. No problem. Popcorn. No one likes popcorn on its own. They like butter and salt. That's true. I'm not a fan of popcorn. Although, having said that, if you put me in front of a tub of salted popcorn, I will eat it. And all the way through, I'll be like, what am I doing? I'm just chewing salty nothing. Ugh. It's a shame we waste so much on bombs while the planet melts down. Yes, I think we need Earth 2 in the next 50 years. Ooh, now Earth 2, that's a bit of a lofty goal. I think we might be overreaching there. Earth 1 is, we better do our best to try and keep Earth 1 fit for human habitation. Even if we have to dig into the Earth and live in tunnels as the surface of the world burns for 1,000 years. Hopefully people will survive it. That'd be nice. Escargot is the bomb. Poor choice of words. Escargot is tasty. I'm sure it is, but I don't know. It's just one of those things. I can understand why people wouldn't want to eat insects, because I don't want to eat snails. But maybe I'd give it a go, and I'd have to be egged on pretty hard, and be feeling pretty adventurous. Probably need to be on drugs at the very least. But who knows? Never say never. Never say never. I tried a very hot curry for the first time the other day, and I quite enjoyed it. Well, I'm going to say a very hot curry. It was a vindaloo, so reasonably hot. And it wasn't anywhere near as daunting or painful as I thought it might be. So I'm going to be trying a lot more hot food in the near future. And when I say hot food, I'm going to start giving a go at some of the daft hot stuff. I'm not going to be eating ghost chilies anytime soon, but, a little bit more adventurous choices in my spice palette. I'm registering for Vault 69 right now, says Druids Mead. Does sound like the sexiest vault, doesn't it? It does sound like the sexiest vault. Is there lore for the actual Fallout Vault 69? I feel like if there is, it was early days lore that has been expunged in the Bethesda era. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'm just a cynical little bastard. Maybe I'm a terrible person. I am on a volcano embark, Hallie Fox. I am indeed. I nearly always do in volcano embarks. In fact, when we do the Parallel World Fortress, it's probably also going to be a volcano embark, because as I generated the world, I kind of stipulated, Druids Mead, congratulations, you've had a baby boy, but I don't really care. I stipulated that the world needed 200 volcanoes, so we have plenty of options for surface volcanicity, and we'll see how it works out. Lamb Naga is very nice if you like Vindaloo strength. I'll probably give it a go. Is that with the Naga chilies in it, or is Naga just a name for it, for the dish? Because I'll give it a go. Next time I see it on a menu, I'll have a little crack. And if you're still hanging around on the channel at that point, I'll let you know how it went, Druids Mead. Sergeant Indy makes his own hot sauce, ferments it itself. I remember you mentioning this. 200,000 Scoville. That's pretty fucking hot. I watch Hot Ones every now and again on YouTube, and one of the sources, De Bomb, the one that kind of gives people the most trouble, I've actually witnessed that at work in a pub in London, and I saw like 3 or 4 South African punk skater guys just screaming and rolling around on the floor, basically crying their eyes out, like pouring milk in their faces and stuff. It was enough to stop me from tasting it at the time. It has to be said, it was very much enough. One poor fucker touched his eyes, and that was just, oof, what a guy. I felt for him. Anyway, it was 1 man and 100 women. Oh, in Vault 69. That's not 69. That's a fucking orgy. That's well, it's not. Is it? Yeah, that's an orgy for sure. For sure, it's an orgy. Vault 69 is mentioned in Fallout Bible, contained 1 man and 999 women. Oh, I see. There was a sister vault that was 1 woman and 999 men. Was that Vault 96? It's not that hot. The Scoville ranking is not a super great metric. It's hot enough that if you use a lot, it will make you sweat, but not so hot that you can't taste anything. The bomb is the worst, says science. It's not even hot. The issue is it tastes like fucking vinegar and hurts. Ah, I see. So it's less of a strictly strength thing and more of a flavour profile thing. Sergeant Ely says the trick of making hot sauce or eating hot food has nothing to do with not touching your eyes. The trick is that everyone has to pee sometimes. Ooh. And it burns, 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 the curry bell end, the curry bell end. Washing capsaicin off is a crapshoot. That's true. You can't be 100% sure you got rid of it all. Am I right in thinking super hot chilies have hallucinogenic properties, says Tidy. I've heard that. I've heard you can get a high from chilies, but I think that's the kind of high that runners say they get, you know? Like, oh yeah, I got a runner's high. I'm totally high right now. I'm like, you're not fucking high. Give me a fucking break. You're tired. But anyway, where were we? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I've never tested it. You know, I can think of easier ways to get hallucinations than eating chilies, and probably less painful ways, but I'm not about to promote them on Twitch. Druids Mead says Vault 70 was better. All jumpsuit makers fail after 6 months. Ooh, the nudist of fortresses. Ali Fox thought it was 1 and 99, not 1 and 999. Well, I know it's an order of magnitude, but I mean, is there that much of a difference when there's only one of one and many of the other? It seems a little bit unbalanced. Although, having said that, the shelter with one man and lots of women seems like it has a better survival than the one with lots of women and than one woman and lots of men. Yeah, because the one with one woman and lots of men is not only going to be a horrible place to live, especially for that woman, but excuse me, they've got a really slow possibility of having babies there. I mean, you've got to wait at least 9 months between each baby, whereas the other one, that guy can be firing out ribbons of jizz all over the place and just getting people knocked up left, right and centre, and before you know it, the population balance might be a little bit more even, if a little bit kind of, you know, lumpy and, you know, extra fingered. But whatever. I mean, that's not that generation. The next generation's going to be lumpy and extra fingered, but whatever. The vaults in the earlier canon were more than large enough for a few thousand people. The bomb is bad because it's made with extracts. Capsaicin extract is super bitter and tastes awful. That's why the bomb isn't the bomb basically pepper spray. It's just like someone's gone, oh, I've got this batch of pepper spray that's just sitting here, I can't sell it. And they're like, I'll just put it as a hot sauce. Comedy hot sauce. Excuse me. I'm going to have to take a break in a minute. I'm getting a bit of a dry throat. I need a drink. Also, I need a wee, so that's going to take some time up as well. Let me just catch up with chat a bit, and then we'll decide what's happening. Oh, hang on. Has everything paused? What happened? Another baby? Piss off with your babies. Oh yeah, I built a tavern. I completely forgot about that. Let's go back to the main gateway and see what's happening. I diced up a dozen hot peppers once, washed my hands 3 times and still burned myself when I went to the bathroom. I know, it's a real thing. If only there was something, you know, that metal thing you can get to wash your hands with to get rid of the smell of garlic and stuff like that. If only there was something like that for neutralising chilies. That would be really cool. I'm pretty sure there is something you can eat that before, like those miracle berry things that make lemons taste sweet. I'm fairly certain there is something you can eat that does dull the effects of capsaicin. But I'm not entirely sure if I'm just fantasizing that or I've seen it in a movie somewhere. That might not be real, but it rings a bell to me. It rings a bell. Excuse me. Yeah, always wear gloves. That makes sense. Generally, as a rule, prior to trying this hot curry, I made a kind of a thing of not eating any food that required the preparer to wear gloves for their own protection. You know, fine. If they want to wear gloves to handle salad from a salad bar or something like that, that's great. But if they're wearing the gloves because they don't want to lose their eyeballs, then I feel like maybe it's not the best idea to eat what they're preparing, right? That sounds a bit dangerous. Death by snoo. Well, I don't think... Would you necessarily die? I think if you're in a fortress with one man and many, many women, I feel like there's going to be some kind of level of restraints there that probably wouldn't really. I don't think you're going to be death by snoo. I think they're going to come to an accord where everybody gets a turn and everything works out all right. Whereas the one the other way around, with one woman and 999 men, that's going to be a fucking nightmare. I mean, Jesus Christ. Oof. I wouldn't want to be locked in there. I also have a mask I wear when I blend them. Blending hot peppers is horrible. You pop the top off that blender and it's straight out tear gas wafting out. Have you ever prepared horseradish? My dad got horseradish once, like the white wasabi, essentially. And we had it in the house for a little while, and he had to boil it to prepare it to make the horseradish sauce. And Jesus, it was the whole house was like eye-watering. You could barely walk around. I know Good Mythical Morning did it as a prank on... Oh, there's no miracle berry for hot stuff. They made fake pills that dull hot stuff, then made sets of 2 identical dishes, one hot, one not, and made the hosts eat them. So the one guy with the hot stuff was left trying to pretend the pill worked or wondering why it wasn't working. That's not too bad. As long as it's the 2 guys from that's not a bad show, actually. I don't watch it all the time, but every now and again it pops up in my YouTube recommends, and I go on a little binge of watching a few bits and bobs. They seem like decent fellas. And also, the taller one of the 2, I think, looks a bit like Trent Harger from Tromeo and Juliet. But hey, that's just me. That's just the way I see people. Would you start at ugly and work your way up? What would be your strategy? I mostly just eat them, watch them eat. Well, there, they do it with Christoph. Strategy for what, Tidy? Let me have a look up. Check the... start ugly and work your way up for the snoo. Well, to be honest, if I was the one man in a fortress full of women, and the future of the race depended on me procreating with them, I'd just take it easy, let them work it out amongst themselves. I mean, I'm not the one in the position of, like, trouble, am I? In that scenario. I'm kind of sitting there thinking, well, good things will probably happen. Let's just wait. The odds are in my favour. But yeah, unlikely to happen, I don't think. Run a raffle. No, that's not a bad idea, Druids Mead. But do I really want to be, at this point, I feel like I'm selfless enough to understand that I can't be, denying the remnants of womanhood, my body. Everybody gets a turn. Just working out amongst yourselves how it's going to go. And I think that's probably the best bet, really, isn't it? That's the way it'll work. Queue up. Take it in turns. I'm probably going to need a little while to recover between sessions, but I'll keep going as long as I can. It's like that song from Death Stranding. I'll keep coming. Do, 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 do. No, I was about to sing a different song there. If you were one man in a vault of women, I don't think you're in much of a position to work that out. Yeah, you're not about to... I mean, that is not the time to get rapey, is it? I mean, not that there's any time. Not that it's appropriate at any juncture, ever, to get rapey. But, I mean, that's probably the time when it's going to work least for you as a person, right? That someone's going to start with a no, and it's going to end with a sort of, we could just cut your knackers off. Fuck humanity. But hey, whatever. Who knows? Meat raffle. I've seen actual legitimate meat raffles. I used to work in a working men's club, and every week they'd have a raffle for meat. Oh, look, we've got some migrants. Useless bloody migrants. We don't need more people here. We're trying to think of inventive ways to off them, he says. Blatantly not doing that. Just reading chat. Babbling away. Oh, my goodness. Let's catch up again. Let's be honest. The women would work out a rota, and your life would be a living hell. Maybe not. I'd be more of a living hell if I was gay, I imagine. That would be torture, wouldn't it? That would be awful. If you were like the wrong, let's say wrong, for the circumstances, the wrong sexual orientation. You'd be like, oh, anyone else, well, not anybody else, but anyone else not like me. Oh, they'd have loved this, but personally, I'm just not interested.
Skulls for the Skull Thrones, blood for the Blood God.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Dragon Man B. Much appreciated. I shall make sure that they find their way to Khorne forthwith and post-haste, and are added to the appropriate elements of his regalia. Skull for the Skull Throne, of course, and blood for the Blood God. Not that you would add blood to Khorne's regalia. That's more of a... I imagine Khorne drinks it or bathes in it, right? Or, rubs it all over himself, like Buffalo Bill. Oh no, Buffalo Bill didn't rub stuff on himself. He demanded other people do it, didn't he? It puts the lotion on its body. You have a point here. The real winners here are the lady-liking ladies. That's true. That's true. Although, even if that is your sexual preference, I mean, life would be pretty boring if you were only around, like, 1/2 of the population. You know, if it was only men or only women around, it'd get pretty lame. It would add its, a bit of spice to your life to meet some other people of different varieties, right? I think it's better that way when you meet different people. It's certainly not worse. Well, unless those different people turn out to be absolute wankers. I mean, I imagine the people who first met the Mongols during their rampage across Europe didn't go, oh, this is nice. This is very nice. I'm so glad that we got this chance to meet our neighbours from the east. Look at the way they ride those horses. It's so impressive. I really think we should invite them in and have a little chat and see what happens. Yes, that's the best idea. I don't think that was the thing that was going around in the zeitgeist at the time. Oh, hello. Hello, Sanctum Spirit Stone. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us once again. Dragon Man B, I had a fun challenge to try for Dwarf Fortress. And what might that be, Old Man Dragon? What might that be? Tell me more. Does he have a car? That is a graveyard, Sanctum, and it is a very well-filled graveyard. As you can see from the bottom right-hand corner, the mood in the fortress is not great. Although, that said, it appears to have improved. More people are neutral than were... Oh, hang on, we had a migration wave. That would probably account for it. We haven't had the fortress get happier. We've just diluted the misery with new incoming tabula rasas. Tabula rasi? Tabula... Excuse me. Just holding the breath. I think the hiccups are gone. I think we're good. Okay. Oh, what a lovely small bow you have, Mr. Mongol. That's right. Oh, it bends the wrong way. How exciting. Tell me more about how it works. These silk shirts are lovely. That's one of the amazing things they had. They all wore silk shirts, which meant that when a bolt or an arrow went into you and stabbed you, rather than going into the wound and lodging into the flesh and the barbs all sort of ripping on their way when you tried to pull it out, it wouldn't pierce the silk and it would get wrapped up in the silk, making it easier to remove after the fact. Or maybe it stopped bleeding so much it kind of soaked up a bit of bleeding. I'm not entirely sure how it worked, but I remember silk shirts on Mongols being a thing that was to their benefit. I mean, obviously not to the degree of being born riding a horse and able to shoot a bow from the back of a horse. Obviously that was a bit more beneficial to them, but the silk thing had its benefits. Let's just leave it at that. Tabula rasa, I think. Oh, so no alteration to the word when you pluralise it. Oh, tabulae rasa. Ah, I see what you mean. So you pluralise the tabula, not the rasa. Good. Silk shirts make it easier to remove barbed arrows. That was it. Although you don't always want to pull out something like that. They do say if someone's been stabbed, you don't want to pull the knife out. You want to keep it in there and wait for the paramedics to arrive with the wound in situ and try not to move it. Or at least, maybe I'm wrong there. I think that's the advice, but thankfully I've never had to see anyone get stabbed, which is good. And they look smooth at the disco. That's true. I wonder what the Mongolian equivalent of disco was in the period of Genghis Khan. Do you reckon they had some kind of hot musical trend that was sweeping the lands? I mean, obviously they've got the Mongolian throat sing and all that. And all that jazz, but I mean, I presume music moved more slowly back in those days. The evolution was slower and based around the instruments were invented, I'm guessing. Because these days, musical genres pop up all over the place. Every generation has a new selection of genres to play with. Also, silk is a natural dressing. Oh, okay. The paramedics will leave it in for the surgeon. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. I mean, that if it's that important to leave it in, then maybe they should. Gems and tambourines. Gems and tambourines as a musical genre, are we saying? I can imagine. A tambourine doesn't feel like a Mongolian, and specifically historical Mongolians from the time of the Khans. It doesn't seem like a kind of musical instrument they'd be using. I don't know why. I imagine they'd make like fucking bagpipes out of eagle bladders or something, you know? Something a little bit more... Then again, maybe not. They used to make poultices out of cobwebs or something. Ah. And that's still how things are done medically. Are we talking about removing the stabbing thing? Or if you've got a piece of shrapnel or something sticking into you, it's better to just leave it in. Tambourines are the instruments the non-musical kids get at school. Oh, it's not just the tambourine. There's the triangle, there's the kibasa. There's a whole slew of little percussion instruments you can give to the musically poor children. The thing itself is staunching bleeding. Ah, okay. Isn't that what the... there's like a little... This may be wrong, apocryphal, and I don't know if anyone in chat will actually know the answer, but you know when you see those medieval swords and weapons and stuff, and you see along the blade there's a depression that goes all the way along, and so like in profile it sort of dips in the middle. So imagine you're looking at the sword end on, and my fingers are the shape of it, kind of like that. Is that to make it easier to pull out so air can get into the wound, or is it just like to promote bleeding when you've stabbed someone? This is grim, isn't it? I'm not entirely sure. I always assumed it had some function along those lines. Maybe not. Yeah, pulling it out is probably a bad idea if you don't know, because you don't know if it's barbed or serrated. Dragon Man B says you have to build drop pod / capsule thing. You have to design them out of lava proof. The pods are self-contained. Society that has farmlands for growing crops, excuse me, for food and clothing, animal pens for food, workshops well made, rooms for everything, a luxury. Once it's done, load it up the full best of the best, and then when it seal it and drop it into a volcano. All right. So if I'm reading that right, you're suggesting so you build like a functioning like little mini thing, like a tower of lava-proof stuff, and then you just drop it into the volcanoes. It's completely isolated. That's an interesting idea, actually, like a depth charge down into the magma seas of hell. Maybe not for this fortress, but that has a certain something about it. That's an idea that I think I could actually enjoy doing. I mean, let's face it, it's an idea that I would start the fortress going, this is what I'm going to do. And at the end of the fortress, I'd be going, this is what I didn't do. Because very rarely do the things I set out to do actually happen in Dwarf Fortress. Oh, a dehydrated planter. How exciting. Let's unpause the action and let them dehydrate a little bit further. That's just to reduce. The fuller is just for weight reduction. The blood groove thing is just a meme. Ah, okay. I see everybody knows this one. Druid's Mead, Scientific Hooligan, and Sergeant Indy, and Sanctum Spirit Stone said it was to promote bleeding like a pig sticker. He was on the same page as me, not the apparently correct page. There are weapons designed to cause extra bleeding. They take the form of either warping the blade or serrating it. Could you do like a sword that's got? I mean, it'd have to be 3D printed or something, but like a sword that's got holes that run from the edge all the way down the length of the blade and come out of the handle. So if you stab someone with it, it's kind of like when you put those like the fruit juicing things on, or the carton things. You like pop it in and just tip it out. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm not entirely sure what I'm remembering there. I'm just remembering some kitchen implement you stick into things and then sort of liquid comes out. Let's probably leave that one. It's not the best thing to be sitting here thinking of. Twofold weight reduction and a curved surface promotes an open wound as well. Even if the thing stuck in you isn't barbed, your body is swelling shut around it. You're likely to tear stuff on the way out regardless. Ooh, okay. I'll remember that next time I get stabbed. I think the ballista needs some practice right now. How do we do that though? Can we actually fire upon anything at the moment? There doesn't seem to be anything actually attackable. We do have a lot of birds knocking around. What's this? Ducklings? Why have we got hundreds of fucking ducklings running around? Very odd. Oh, a dwarven child has slipped into depression. Sad, but apparently unavoidable. Blood juicing. Yes, that would be the word to describe it if you pop someone in like that. I think that'd just make your sword smell bad. That's true. It would require a lot of extra cleaning. With those little sort of like, the little, we've got this like a test tube brush, but for cleaning out metal straws. Like one of those you'd need to clean, wouldn't you? Put a targeting dummy at the end of the hallway. That's not a bad idea, Sergeant Indy. We could do that. The blister would just fire once set, no target needed. Okay. I am looking for tutorial videos so I can get back into Dwarf Fortress. Do you know any? That's a bottomless pit, Dragon Man B. I haven't watched tutorial videos for Dwarf Fortress in a long time, so anything that I watched right now would be out of date. But Krug Smash a while ago did a beginner's guide, like 1 or 2 videos, which was quite good. Chat will have better answers for you than I do. This does come up occasionally, and usually people come up with a few suggestions, so keep your eyes on chat and see what happens. Captain Duck, yes, that's a good channel. Practice using catapult against a wall with a stone stockpile. It raises the catapult operator skill. I don't have a catapult, I've only got a ballista. Lots of dwarves in the hallway. That's true, yes. Probably best not to start loosing stuff down the hallway while people are running down there. Captain Duck has some very good tutorials, but a very thick accent. He's Dutch, isn't he? Captain Duck? The Dutch Duck? That's not what he calls himself. That's probably quite offensive. I've probably been very rude. If you can understand him fine, he really is solid, but I've heard some people complain they can't. That's true. I mean, European accents are a mixed bag sometimes, especially if you aren't in close proximity to them very often. They can be quite hard to pick out. Paradexis Errant Dwarf Fortress walkthrough will cover the basics that haven't changed. That's the person who does the old Lazy Noob pack as well, so they're probably an authority on the subject. Can you send out forces to fight yet? Probably. Let's have a look at that, shall we? I'd like to see the hallway of dwarves trying to dodge ballistae, since the fort won't be continuing anyway. That's true, the fort isn't continuing, although it may continue one more session. Although, to be fair, how much have I done this session? Does what I've done so far tonight really warrant a continuation of the fortress? I mean, these little fellas must be feeling pretty neglected right now, right? I mean, I have basically been ignoring them. Oh, Druid's Meat, you've been struck down! Oh, qu'est-ce que c'est? Pourquoi? Where is it? Oh, nicknames don't appear in here, do they? Or do they? Oh no, there we go. Fighting. Fighting with a miner. You probably must have thrown a wobbly. Lost your mind, started attacking people. Struck in the head with a miner's pick. Tale as old as time, as they say in the old Disney's, Dozneys, Mineys. I'd like to see literally unplayable, says Druid's Mead. You can send squads on raids. It's pretty cool. Yeah, let's do it. Capital C. Let's have a little look and see who's around. Who can we attack? There's Room Smokes. To be honest, considering the theme of this fortress when we initially started, the fact that I've been basically sitting here blathering along and ignoring it is kind of on point. It's kind of correct. I did the right thing. Why aren't you praising me? Come on, people. The Elven Forest Retreat of Forest Partners. Population 100. Site government, the somber beaches. Civilization, the desert of Father's War. Artifacts rumoured. The mountain halls, natural or supernatural. Factual forest. The Book of Rurdist Construct Submerges, The Tree in Time of My Ancestors, and a humble offering to the author, and the pits came full circle. I don't care about any of that stuff. We want to wipe them out. So I'm going to say raid site. Bosh. There we go. Who do we assign squad? Let's press enter. We'll send the trust orbs and the balance trumpets, because why not? And then, is that it? Escape done? Bang. Brilliant. And then if I press escape again, press D for details. Let's have a look. Raid. Squads will try to avoid detection. Pillage. Open the attack. Raise. Open the attack and destroy the site. Demand one-time tribute. Demand ongoing tribute. Conquer and occupy. Demand surrender and occupy. Okay. Let's conquer and occupy. Why not? Let's give it a go. Warning. If successful, your soldiers will join the occupation and not return. Okay, not that one. Let's X. Raise it. Open the attack and destroy the site. Bingo. Are they off? Are they heading out of the fortress? I think they are. Look, there we go. I think most of them have been patched up after the combat last time, right? Let's have a look in the hospital. Nope. Nope, not even close. I imagine most of these dwarves will not even be going on the mission, but we'll see what happens. If they return after the fact and have survived, we shall laud them greatly. But if they don't return, then, well, we'll mourn them instead. Mourning, not lauding. LAU, not LOR. I wouldn't like to lord it over anybody. Oh, we've got a depressed brewer. Not ideal. You don't want someone with severe depression working too closely with alcohol. It could cause problems. Not guaranteed, of course. Never guaranteed, but possible. Totally possible. Okay, so what time is it? Let's have a look. It's 1:30 in the morning, and I've been recording for 1 hour and 50 minutes. Holy shit. That means, I would say, that it's time for a break. So, those of you watching on YouTube, thank you very much for putting up with my meandering nonsense. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!